There was Guardians of the Galaxy too. That was a really dirty movie.
Be too bold. I don't wanna weigh you down.
I'm just like, no! You know!
I heard you say that you could handle anything.
Video him in a
What I
dark room.
really need to know. Would you wait for me when I gotta leave? Could I ever be everything you need? If I promise you my love, could that promise be in love? Would you wait for me? Would you wait for me? I don't need a
Hey, it's a podcast. Tonight with me, I have the man who was voted most attractive man named Jack Playley. Jack Playley. Next, I have the lady who was voted in a recent survey most likely to marry an English teacher, Sydney Wellenstein.
True that, yeah.
Next, I have the best German teacher in Whitefish Bay High School, Herr Madler. I'm your host, Andrew Falone, and this is the Humor Tower Times podcast, or as we like to call it here on the internet, HTTP. So, a few disclaimers before we get the show started. If words like Nabelschnur and Schmetterling offend you, then this might not be the podcast for you, because the podcast will go in all sorts of directions and places, because it's just a conversation. Beyond that, I'll be looking at my phone, but I'm not using it to translate my German homework, because Harris told us a million times that it doesn't work. Also, Shanaz's new intro has music from Tim Burtz, who's an excellent guitarist, who approached me about putting his music in the intro. So check him out. There's a link down in the description below, and he's really talented. I think you'll like his music. After that, here we go. So, how you guys doing?
Swell.
Great.
All right.
Swell. I like that, yeah.
I've been a little sick lately. I know we talked about being sick on the podcast 2 weeks ago with the German scarf. But, yeah, I don't know. It seems like everyone's getting colds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had a cold this week. It wasn't bad though. Like, I usually don't get like a full force sickness, I feel like. Like, I usually stay pretty well.
Like you're not out for a week or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. I'm not like Colin, for example, who just took a week off of school, a full 5 days off of school. I hope you're watching.
No, you know, like the last 2 times I've had a cold this year, as soon as I felt the cold coming on, I went to bed and I told myself I'm not going to be sick when I wake up. And it worked. Both times. I felt like a warlock, a superhero. It's like when I woke up, it was perfectly better. But this time it just hasn't worked. It's stuck around. And I don't know. And I think the thing is, it's like, you know, nasal, like stuffed up and cough and everything. And so I just can't get a good night's sleep. Because about 6 in the morning, I wake up realizing that I can't breathe through my nose because like the Sudafed's worn off. So you gotta go drug up again.
I like never take medicine when I'm sick at all. I don't know. I just never do.
Yeah,
Probably should, but
that's the German way, right?
no.
Like you said that Germans really don't like medicine, or like they really
For the
don't
most
have
part,
pills.
they tend to avoid it or use it very sparingly compared to us. Yeah, definitely.
You know, I'm the same way. Like I always, whenever I'm sick, like I don't like to like take pills or anything. But man, Sudafed is my one godsend, because that pill just like opens up your nose like nothing else.
I only take like Excedrin and Migraine if I get like headaches, but like I don't know. I just don't relying on medications. And stuff.
Yeah. I saw something funny online. It was talking about medicine. It was talking about like, you know, in 2000 BC we had roots, and then we had like, no, that root's bad, pray, and then like, no, prayer is bad, take this potion, and then like that potion's bad, take this pill, and then like, oh, like all like bacteria got better than the pill, so take another pill, and then bacteria got better than that pill, so take another pill, and now we're back to roots.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it's true.
Yeah.
I like, you know, like it's all about like getting back to natural and like having all the supplements and stuff.
The neti pod and stuff.
home
Yeah,
remedies.
these are like a big thing.
They really are.
I took private viola lessons with Mr. Murphy, who was the 7th grade orchestra teacher. He was an awesome guy. He always smelled like hand lotion and dreadlocks. But like, and it was pretty intense when you're in like a small little studio taking lessons with him. But I remember one day I was sick, so he wrote down like a remedy for me. Like it was like you had to like take ginger and like you had to put like the juice of a whole lemon and you had to have like a clove of garlic and everything. He's like, yeah, when you're sick, just like pop this together, mix it all up like a witch's brew and chug that sucker down and you're set.
Did it work?
And I'm a little scared to try it. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm thinking about doing it this weekend.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, I've got the whole recipe still.
You should.
You have to post it
Yeah.
online or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to find that.
He was a cool guy.
I trust him.
Do you ever do music here when you were in school?
Just the required things. I actually wish I did. I wish I played an instrument. I took piano lessons for a month in 2nd grade, and the teacher moved. Maybe a little more than, maybe more like 6 weeks, but still moved, and then I never picked it up again. So
Wasn't meant to
You didn't
be.
scare her off?
Yeah. Maybe she couldn't
I
handle
don't think
you.
so. No. Yeah, I don't know.
It seems like every kid did piano, but I never did.
Piano.
And actually, I want to. Like, I play viola and guitar, but
Still in orchestra.
yeah, I am. An orchestra's fun. Like, I'm very bad at playing the viola. Like, it's open. Like, they're the people that, like, practice every day and, like, have the time to do that, and go for it if you're one of them. But I don't know. I guess I've never been too dedicated. But I still like it. It's still fun.
I really liked playing the cello, but I wasn't good. I was last year all of my career as a cellist, pretty much. And then like I never took outside lessons, but like most people did.
Yeah.
Like the vast majority, I was like one of the only who didn't. So that probably was like a big reason as to why I wasn't good at all.
And Mr. Murphy was great for private lessons, but he moved after like 8th grade. So then when I was a freshman, I tried to find someone new. So I went to like the Conservatory of Music, which had this woman, and I won't out her, but because I think she still gives lessons. But we clashed on everything. Like, she rode her Vespa everywhere, and her only friend was her cat, and talked about it every time I was there. And like, she was the opposite of Mr. Murphy. Like, Mr. Murphy, I'd come in with like some stupidly hard piece that I found from a movie, and he'd be like, okay, we'll try it. And she would have me playing the same song for like 6 months until I could play it perfectly all the way through. I just wasn't my style. I remember once, like, I cracked my knuckles, and she's like, that's bad for you. And I'm like, nah, it's fine, it's an old wives' tale. So then she sent me an email with 3 links to articles proving that it was bad for you. So then I shot back an email with 3 links to articles proving that it was an old wives' tale, which my mom told me was rude at the time, but I didn't really care.
How old were you?
I was a freshman.
Wow,
I was a
great.
sassy little freshman.
Yeah.
Speaking about like relationships with teachers, I know, yours, I don't know, you seem like you have the best rapport with all your students. Like, I don't know, like when we were in first hour, like you bring us donuts once in a while, and
Very
like,
kind.
you're always the most interested in our lives of any teacher. Like, beyond just like the jokes you make in class.
Well, you're all people, so like just interact with students like they're people. Like they do have interests and lives and preferences and events. So why not? That's the way I look at it. I don't think I overstepped too many lines or vice versa. Students with me. I mean, there's like obviously I don't grill students about whatever's going on, but if something comes up, why
It's
not
not
acknowledge that it's their birthday or that
Yeah.
their dog had puppies or whatever.
And I think I think students respect that because like they know that you treat them with like like a human. So like I think hopefully like treat you the same because I think I don't have any students ever really overstepped the line or.
No, nothing just jumps out really. They joke about wanting to come over and play video games or wanting to go to lunch or something, but it's never been anything.
That's after we graduate, right?
Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
it can be
or
Facebook.
even then, people won't do that. So then again, it's just a joke. So otherwise, no. I have a life outside of school, and then I have a life in school, but it doesn't mean people can't be civil.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have found it, but like I find being a senior, I have a lot better relationships with all my teachers.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like I don't know. By the time you're a senior, like you do a lot of growing in high school. Like I'm in Spanish 1 right now, along with AP German, and it's real interesting because it's me and like all freshmen in Guan, and it's real interesting because like I feel like freshman and sophomore year you're still almost in middle school, and like junior year you start growing up, and then by the senior year you're like growing, which I don't know. Looking back on it, like I don't like the person I was when I was a freshman because I was like small and annoying and talked back.
Yeah,
And
it's like weird to think about it my younger self. Like it's weird. I don't know. I feel like I'm like so different now. Like
Yeah, I don't feel like myself like that at all the freshman year.
yeah,
You know?
it's a big growing stage. I guess middle school is too.
yeah,
Like I guess just adolescence.
Yeah. Middle school's like wiped out. Like I don't remember anything.
and as a freshman I still feel like teachers were like the supreme authority sort of. And like not that they aren't now, but now it's more just like you're interested in learning, like you're in a class to learn, so like you respect that and they respect you. And
Yeah.
it's less of, you know, like the nun with the ruler and like, you know, like all the millions of worksheets and stuff.
Yeah.
Because like this year, like I feel like I'm taking classes that I like,
Mhm.
like rather than like freshman year, like you have to take those classes, so you kind of feel forced into it in a way.
Definitely. What do you guys do that makes you feel most adults? I mean, beyond terror, because I think most days you probably do. But like, I don't know, whenever I'm running errands for myself or just
Yeah.
like taking care of myself, I'm like, I'm a real person, you know?
Yeah. I feel like when I'm working, like I don't work during the school year, but like in the summer, I feel like when I'm going to work and I'm thinking like, oh, I gotta go to work, like I feel pretty grown up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big step.
What was it? Do you remember when you were like our age that really made you feel, or like what was the moment that like made you feel like you were an adult then? Was it living in Germany? Or?
Well, it was voting, and some of the things you guys had mentioned, like going to work at different jobs and things, and maybe when people, strangers, don't necessarily know that you're a high school student anymore. You might be 20, you might be 17. You're sort of in that in between area. So I mean that's when just people just start interacting you like you are a grown up. But definitely, yeah, and then paying taxes when you have those part-time jobs and things, and that's a pretty big grown-up stage. So,
What was your first job?
oh well, besides paper routes and cutting lawns and
You a
And-
paper boy?
things like that. Oh yeah.
How old are you?
Maybe third grade,
Really?
like that.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Wow.
twice a week I'd get up, and usually my dad would help me, but not always.
Ride around on your bike?
Ride around on my bike delivering papers. Yeah.
I didn't know it was like a thing. Like,
Oh yeah,
I was just like in movies.
I think it's a generational thing because the people I see delivering papers now are not high school, middle school age people. They're young kids. They're like grown-ups. So I don't know what happened there in those 30 years, but it doesn't seem like something that's young people do as like for money anymore.
I was looking at, I think I saw an ad in the paper the other day that was for like paper deliverers. But they say like hours like 2 a.m. to like 6 a.m. Those don't sound like good hours no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah, or a night owl or something.
Yeah. What were your hours like?
Oh, and I'd have to be before school, of course. It was a local paper, so it wasn't even a daily thing. It was 2 days a week, and it was. I remember being up around 6 and then being home by 7. So that must have been something like that.
Nice. And what jobs did you have in high school?
Let's see. I worked at a local grocery store, sort of a Sendix type place, and that was nice. That was good. I stayed there on and off through high school, and then in early years of college, like on weekends or when I'd come home in the summer and stuff. So that was good. I'm still in contact with those people and the family and everything. So
That's awesome. And then you ended up, did you work when you were in Germany, or when did you go to Germany? Was it before college or during college?
yeah, I did a gap year, what people now call a gap year. So I graduated high school and took German, only 3 years, and then went to Germany as an exchange student for a year. Stayed with a really nice family, and went to school there. Took classes, took tests, got better at German, and then came back and went to college. So.
Nice. Like gap years weren't like a big thing back then.
Oh, they had them, but I don't remember them being called gap years. That's only in the last 5 or 10 years I've heard the term gap year. But just a year as an exchange student. So, yeah, I don't think it was. Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see numbers on that. I have no idea if it was more common then or less common. So, I don't know.
I think so. What really made it, like, what made you want to travel to Germany? Did you just really like the language, or was it just the experience abroad?
Yeah, I had done a 3-week exchange in Germany, kind of like Sydney did, in between, oh gosh, what would that have been? Between sophomore, junior, or was it between junior and senior year? I think it was between junior and senior year. Stayed with the same family that I ended up staying a full year with. And it all worked out. I mean, I liked it. I saw the potential for what you can learn by interacting with people, and I saw a lot of the cultural similarities and differences, and just I knew I'd always been sort of interested in exchange students anyway. I'd been active in AFS and things like that in high school, and then I just thought, well, why not do it? So,
Yeah. I think almost all of us here want to travel. Do you guys have anywhere that you want to travel, like specifically right now?
I've always been really into Tibet. Like I was like 5 or no, I was probably a little older than that. But I saw the movie 7 Years in Tibet with Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I watched it recently, and I guess I didn't appreciate it as much, but it's still like really sentimental because like that like piqued my interest, and then like I've just been like super into Tibet like since
Yeah.
then, and like that's like definitely on my bucket list. And then I want to probably die in Tibet, not to be like morbid or anything, but I really want a Tibetan sky burial.
Yeah.
Like I wrote a paper about it, and it's like really cool. It's just like the most like ecologically sound way to
Mhm,
die.
mhm.
Like,
Interesting.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's awesome, yeah.
It's really cool.
I like India. I don't know, I really want to go. I like, not like it's a great thing, but like I really like the busyness of it and how everything's so compact, even though it's like kind of sad in a way because
Yeah.
a lot of it's brothels and stuff. But I still want to like travel there. And then we watched a video on world culture. Did you guys watch that
Yeah.
yet? Yeah, like race and brothels or something. And
Yeah.
I
Born
like
into
wanna,
brothels.
I want to like, yeah, I want to see like what that's actually like rather than through a lens.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
Yeah.
What about you here? Is there anywhere that, like, beyond, you know, fleeing to Germany in a few weeks?
Oh, well, I mean, I love traveling and I love interacting with locals. So, I mean, let's see. I want to go to Africa. I've never been to Africa. It's one of the only continents I've never been to. Antarctica would be cool. There's not a lot of people there, but, you know.
Fun.
Yes. It'd be pretty cool to see. You know, but I can see, I hope to be able to continue to travel, you know, well into old age. So, yeah, we'll see.
Where in Africa would you want to go?
Well, Namibia in particular, because it's a former German colony. But, yeah, Ms. Brown was in Namibia for a while, and she and I have talked a little bit about what that was all about. But, yeah, I would go anywhere. Like, I can't, there's not a country I can think of or a region of Africa where I can think I wouldn't want to go there. It's just so, it's such a ginormous continent that I think it, you know, pretty much anywhere. And yeah, we'll see.
How prominent is German in Namibia? Do you know?
Oh, not very, but it's still there, and there's still, according to Ms. Brown, there's still a German minority population there, and they have German schools and German TV and German radio, and consider themselves to be Germans. But I think it's pretty small. So, beyond that, I've never heard of anyone going there and like living with the Germans there as an exchange student or anything like that. But I'd like to, you know, check it out at least.
Yeah. I've always been interested in places that are really sparsely populated. Because, like, I really like people, like, interacting with people. I mean, I don't know, I want to be a diplomat, like, people are really cool. But, I don't know, it was a fascination ever since I was a little kid. Like, Mongolia, I've always wanted to go to, and I want to study abroad there.
Mhm.
But other than that, there's, like, there's a really good article in the New York Times about this railway that, like, Stalin built all the way in northern Siberia. That, like, goes all the way through northern Siberia, like, all the way across this like, vast wilderness of Russia. And just, like, it's a huge part of the world that just no one lives in. And there are all these, like, towns that were meant to be, like, Soviet utopias that just, like, failed.
And they're just not popular.
Well, like, they're like, people that still live there, but, like, they just live in the middle of nowhere. Or, like, it talks about how, as you go along the railway, you'll see, like, all these giant art projects. Because art students, under the Soviet regime, they had to, like, go out and create these huge pieces of art to, like, celebrate the regime and its accomplishments. But, like, they interviewed someone who said, like, yeah, I created it. I'm pretty sure no one's ever saw it because it's just, like, in the middle of the wilderness out there.
Would you want to go alone, or would you?
I want to go with someone else. I think for a train, it'd be fun to go with someone else.
Yeah.
Also, I want to go, like, Bhutan, like Tibet or Nepal. It's a really cool country because they had TV, like any TV, banned until like 1999. It's like one of the least Western nations because it has so little outside influence, and they really regulate like who can come in. Like they don't have very much trade at all, and it's right in the mountains near China and Nepal, right there. And also, I was reading about, so there's this island way off the northern coast of Norway called Svalbard. It's like, it was the last port that all the like explorers would go to before they would go up into the Arctic Circle. So it's just like, there's still a town there and like people that live there, but it's just way up north. All those like remote far reaches of the world, I thought would be really cool to go to.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, you guys are going to have, you know, opportunities to do these things over the next 5 or 10 years that you need to take advantage of as best you can, because before you know it, if you're like most people, you'll have, you know, a mortgage and a job that you can't leave for more than a week or so, and before you know it, you're 40, and then you're 50, and then, you know, so take advantage of things and learn the language. Definitely learn it. Even a little bit of the language is always cool to whenever you go anywhere. don't just speak English really loudly and hope people understand you.
Fingers crossed, my job will send me to those places.
Yes.
I want to be deployed with the foreign service, so they send you to a new country every 3 years, and they teach you the language wherever you go. So I think that'd just be incredible to like get to learn languages for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You go there.
And you would live there for 3 years.
You work for the U.S. Embassy. You aren't the ambassador, but like you're one of the staff of the embassy. So then after like 3 years in Panama, you go 3 years in Prague, and then 3 years in Vienna, and then you do these like 9-month hardship tours, where it's like 9 months in Libya and 9 months in Afghanistan. I think those are really the coolest.
Yeah.
'Cause I remember like when there were all the students protesting in Egypt to oust
Arab
Mubarak.
Spring.
Yeah, and how they were like talking about all the American exchange students there being evacuated. I thought like I want to be there then. Like that's where things are happening, you know. Like I guess that's the benefit of being young. Like you can go right where things are happening and be in the heart of the action.
Yeah, like 2 years ago, I wanted to be a photojournalist, like so
Yeah.
badly. I thought it was just like the coolest thing, like looking at all the the Life magazine, even though it's not in print anymore, like all those photographs. I just really wanted to be right there. Then my mom kind of like shut that down. It's
Aw.
like, yeah, I'm like, but it's true, and I think I'd be really scared now. I guess the places I'd go.
Vice is a news source online that I've always really liked because they're really young, like overall, and they're willing to send their reporters just about anywhere. So like one of the coolest things is like their reporters going to like a LRA camp in like the Congo, and going to like out into where like there are child soldiers and just like militias and like experiencing that and just seeing that firsthand, and then they bring that lens that they've just seen to the rest of the world with a lot of their reporting. It's just fascinating.
Have you seen the bride kidnapping one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that guy's
hilarious.
what's that guy's name? The Vice guy?
I don't remember the Vice guy's name,
He's
but
so funny. He's
yeah.
so awkward.
there's a Vice reporter that goes along on a bride kidnapping in Kyrgyzstan, and just like to experience it because like it's interesting because it's not really a cultural tradition there. Like it doesn't have any history, and it popped up as soon as like the USSR fell and Kyrgyzstan was like trying to have their own national identity again. That was just one of the things that like we kidnap our brides, and
Really?
yeah,
Yeah.
it came out of nowhere.
The guy was like on one of the kidnaps too, and then he's like, "Oh, so you guys are just gonna like take her right now?" And they're like, "Yeah." And they just like went up and took her, and I was like,
What were her feelings?
And, like
she was just crying and like
and like a lot of
trying
times
to get away.
it's like they
really-
are boyfriend girlfriend couples. It's not like someone you've never met. But then like a lot of times like no one I don't think wants to be kidnapped. And like then like it's either at a bad time. Like she was saying like she wanted to finish high school, and then like but she was getting married. And it was like she was telling them like that she hopes that she could continue high school. And like just the fact like that can happen beyond someone's will is wild. Do you guys have any stuff on your bucket list, sort of springboarding off travel? What's left? You ever written up a bucket list?
No, never. I've like always thought about it, but it's always just kind of been like
Yeah.
like a thought. Never acted on it.
Yeah, like my friends like made one like over the summer. We didn't do any of it, but so it's kind of like disappointing. Like after you get to the point, it's like, well, I don't know, but
Yeah, I don't have a list either. I mean, there's things I've always wanted, like maybe dog sled,
We skated it around.
or whatever, paddle down the Amazon River, and I mean, there's certain things, but I don't have a checklist or anything that I'm necessarily going for. It's just things I've always thought it'd be cool to do someday. So we'll see. Learn other languages.
Yeah.
I don't know. How about you?
Yeah, well, like, I remember when I was a freshman, I typed one up, and it was all, like, travel related, like, exactly what you were talking about with, like, dog sledding and paddling, but, I don't know, if you guys could pick one thing off your, like, just, like, that you'd want to do right now, I don't know, like, for me, it'd be, so I remember watching this documentary, I think it's on PBS, about, like, these explorers going to Tibet and going into caves there, like, these really arid caves to find these old scrolls that are, like, older than the Dead Sea Scrolls, old, like, Buddhist manuscripts, and, but they went to the Dalai Lama first, and like he gave them this like talisman to like protect them and his blessing. I think it'd be so cool to like have that talisman and be like blessed by the Dalai Lama. Like that'd just be incredible.
That'd be
Yeah.
really cool.
Wow.
What about you guys?
the Aurora Borealis. I always wanted to see that. It's like that Northern
Northern
Lights
Lights. Yeah, the
show
Northern
and stuff. Like at my cottage, it's up north and stuff. So sometimes, like once we could see like just the smallest bit of it, like you could see a little green haze and stuff. but I just want to see that like full on. Like, that'd be so
What
cool.
is it scientifically? Like, I have no idea.
I think it's just like the way light reflects.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, something from the sun. Yeah, but I
I
don't
like-
know all the details. I don't remember.
The Brother Bear movie, like the
Yeah.
Disney movie.
So
Yeah, it was
good.
like all the spirits and stuff.
Mhm.
I'm gonna think it's that when I go up there.
My only memory of the Brother Bear movie is that my mom was out of town, so my dad took me and my sister, and he snored so loudly during that movie that like there were other people in the theater were looking over. Because like I always feel bad. I'm sure you can relate to this, but like thinking back, like all the just terrible movies that like you wanted to see as a kid, like the live action Grinch movie that like your parents like would just like I don't know bite the bullet and take you to.
The Grinch, like the people Grinch, not the cartoon one.
Yeah.
I kind of like that one. Like the Pooh Bill and I like that. It's all on a snowflake. I mean, it's just weird.
I'll just see it to get my
You never saw
judgment
it?
on. No.
Harry,
I
did you
think
see
so.
it? No?
Is it scary? Like the people
No.
scary?
Well, it's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
It is weird.
Are there any movies that you got dragged to when you were a kid? Or not when you were a kid, with your kids?
Oh wow. Well, I remember seeing one of the first, if it was not the first Harry Potter movie with my daughter. She was little, like 5-ish, and we ended up leaving because she was so scared. So
Of Harry Potter 1?
yeah, I think it's the one where the troll is coming into the bathroom.
Oh yeah.
That'd be
And,
cool.
and,
Frightening.
and you know, and knocking everything around, and yeah. So, but no, I like doing things with kids, with my
Yeah.
kids. So you know, it's all good.
My dad survived never having seen a Harry Potter movie. Like those are, I don't know. I think those are good like kids movies, if you can call them kids movies, in the grand scheme of things. We didn't get to you, Jack. With if something off a bucket list, there's just something that you could do.
Probably going to Tibet. I don't know. Like I really I like skiing a lot, and like I like being like up in like the mountains. I guess that's like what I've like found cool like while skiing, like being on the top of the mountain, and like I've gone hiking on the mountains and stuff, and like the summit is like really cool. So I'd really like to be like in like what they call the roof of the world.
Yeah.
And even though the Dalai Lama's in India, and supposedly he's not going to reincarnate himself, which is a real bummer.
I wanted to talk about that.
But,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'd really like to meet him. My dad's met him.
Really?
Yeah, so that would be really awesome.
How did he then?
My dad was a state legislator, and he came to Wisconsin and spoke to the state assembly, I believe. And
Wow.
my grandparents were there, and they met him. Yeah, I'm really jealous.
I think it's fascinating how like he's not gonna reincarnate himself because like there is not gonna be another Dalai Lama because like they're afraid that the Chinese government would influence it, and then like he would be some sort of like sad puppet that would like pervert the religion because it would just be like a puppet of the Chinese government because like Tibet is technically a part of China and like they're occupied.
What if he's just saying that, and they're gonna have a secret Dalai Lama?
Ooh,
And then
I like that.
what
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the Dalai Lama, but I remember one of the coolest books I've ever read, like, I don't know, one of the, I don't know, weird things about myself, and trust me, there are a lot, is that I really like old adventure travel books. It's like people traveling, like back in like, from like 1900 to like 1950, back when like you get the like, twofold, you get the Western perspective, which is interesting, so like you get the perspective that they were coming from on the world, but you get to see like the world through their eyes, like before everything was so westernized with like the internet and everything. So the book was called Peking to Paris, and it was a race by car in I think it was like 1906 or 1907 that went from Peking, China to Paris, France. And like these cars are 40 horsepower tops, and so like they went all the way through China and Mongolia, all the way through Russia. They broke their wheel in like the Ural Mountains of Russia, so they got like some farmer to like carve them another new wheel. It's crazy, but when they went through Mongolia, I don't know if it was the Dalai Lama or some other religious leader, but apparently they were saying that like he only lived to be 11 and then he'd be reincarnated, and there would never be any monks. They said that like all the older monks seemed like one night they would go in during the like 11-year-old sleep, and then something would happen, and suddenly then there'd be like a new one. So I don't know if they like strangled him when he was like 11 or something, but like their religious leader always had to be a child, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
In Mongolia, you said?
Yeah, it was some sort of religious leader. It might have been like a different Dalai Lama,
It only go up to 11 to the
Yeah,
age? They couldn't go
yeah.
past?
No, so like when they were 11, it's just like, oh, he's dead. And it was like, you know,
Wow.
holy phenomena.
It's a little weird.
It's kind of like how like people who can get like the stigmata or like speak in tongues. I never used to like I don't know, believe that, but I guess I was watching a thing. A psychologist, they're saying that like you can like convince yourself essentially that like something's gonna happen so much so that it will. But like, you can convince yourself like and not even convince yourself. I mean, you know, there's definitely I'm sure like religious influence and you know from other powers, but like people who are just like are really devoted to their religion that can like have like blood pooling in their hands and stuff.
I've seen someone talk in tongues before.
Yeah.
It was a little
Wow.
weird. I was in California because my stepdad's from there, and we went to his mom's church, and it's like really like foundationalist Christian. Like pretty sure it's like people who believe like the universe is like 6,000 years old and that kind of stuff. And so like, and the sermon was on speaking in tongues, and it's like you're supposed to like initiate it yourself, he was saying, and then like God is supposed to take over. But like, actually, that was the second time I saw someone speak in tongues, because both times I've gone there, I've seen it.
Wow.
It's kind of obscure, but the first time this guy just started like screaming out stuff like in the middle of a song, and then somebody like translated it after he spoke
Yeah.
in tongues.
It's
And
crazy.
It was really odd.
It's like I guess you like speak in another language that you don't know, which is crazy. And my mom talked about someone across the street from her when she was a kid who like the father of the family was really religious. I think it's all about just like if you really I guess like devote yourself to something, then like your brain can do some crazy stuff.
I'd like to see like brain scans while someone is like supposedly speaking in tongues, because like different languages are supposed to like light up different parts of the brain.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
I'd like to see if it's like the same like schema that lights up, or if it's different.
They
It'd be
do
an
that.
interesting experiment.
You know, that's Mr. Steedman.
Yeah,
It's
right.
a project.
Have him for your next guest.
Do that.
Right now,
Yeah.
these UK scientists are kickstarting a project to do the first brain scan study of people using LSD, which seems really interesting because like it'd be in a controlled environment and safe, as safe as could be. But just like because immediately when it was created, it was banned, and like with good reason. But just having brain scans of someone using it would be really interesting.
Have they never done that before?
Never.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising,
Which is
actually.
yeah. I guess maybe they've done it with like mice and stuff, but never humans.
Yeah. There's like a lot of information on it, so I would assume. So.
Yeah. You know, are you familiar with Babbel? They're like they're like Rosetta Stone or like Duolingo.
Oh, yeah.
They've got a YouTube channel where they do some really cool stuff, and they did an interview with like the I don't know super polyglot twins who like they both speak like 9 languages, and like they speak like Sicilian and French and Spanish and Portuguese, and like they speak Celtic and English and everything. But right now they're doing a thing that I think is really interesting where they're seeing like if the 2 twins like how much they can learn of a language in a week if they study for like 12 hours a day. So they're trying to learn Turkish. So like they're just like I think the first day they like just studied books and like read, and then like the second day they labeled everything in their apartment. It's like wall, they put like a little sticky note wall, and like they could put things you could do, like you could paint a wall, you'd have like the verb there and everything. And it's really interesting how much progress they've made. Like on the 3rd day, they had a Turkish speaker come and talk to them. Like they are able to carry on a very basic conversation after just like 3 days studying language. So it shows you how much like you can really learn if you really try.
I'll do that with German here before the AP exam.
All right,
Yeah.
go for it.
One thing I want to do,
Oh,
yeah.
really? Why not?
One thing I want to do to
Nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots
exactly.
of games. So.
I
Yeah.
like post-it notes
Is
too.
it after the AP Psych exam?
Yeah.
Okay, then definitely.
Yeah. The one thing I want to do to prepare for the AP exam, not one thing, but like one thing specifically I want to do is there's a YouTuber, his name's like Gronk H, but he's a German, and so he like makes all these videos of him playing video games, but he speaks German the whole time. The video games are in German. I figure like that's something where like I mean I play video games, I get how they work, so like you could like still like be able to understand with context and just like have that immersion to German for a good period of time.
Sure. No, more exposure is always better. The more, the better. But I mean, it'd be nice to have someone to interact with as well.
Yeah.
So, you guys could get together and speak German.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben Schweiss said that like the best German classes he's had is like where they just like walk around and like talk German with each other, like in college.
We have to have these like AP German dinners where we just go out to dinner and only speak German.
Yeah.
That'd be
that'd be fun.
awesome.
Or lunch.
We studied at like that Chinese restaurant,
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Sophomore, junior year.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That's fun.
We didn't do much studying, but nonetheless, we still spoke German.
What
so-
Chinese restaurant?
It was the one over by Brass Bell. It was
Oh yeah.
Royal
yeah,
Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Jean.
Yeah.
She's the best.
She's not sweet. You got your soup. I remember you were like,
Yeah.
yeah, the soup is the best. Like, it was really good, we'll say.
She's the best. Me and Zeb used to always go there in the summer because they'd have like an $8 all-you-can-eat lunch buffet. Except
Good stuff.
we made the mistake of like biking there. I had just 3 plates of just total meat. And I felt like I was just gonna boast. I had to walk my bike home. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's wow.
I feel like all-you-can-eat buffets are a really American thing.
Yeah. I mean, with the food availability, it's,
Yeah.
You can go up.
I was lucky enough to be in Spain, not last summer, but the summer before. And like it was a record heat, like it was 110 some days, and it was just sweating bullets. And so like we'd go to like a little coffee shop to get like drinks and something, and they'd come out with them all, and you'd take like one regular sip and it'd be half gone. Cause like the serving sizes were so much smaller. So like you had to learn to like slow down, like sip it slowly, no matter how thirsty you were. It was cool. It's the same as like the pace of eating in Germany. I remember after 7th grade, I was in Germany for a month with my family.
Oh,
'Cause my
right,
dad was
yeah.
working there, and I'm going to go back this summer for 2 weeks, which will be fun.
Geese,
But
right?
yeah, there's a little Greek place, Aspendos, that was down the street from us that we'd go to. But a meal would be like 2.5 hours, and you just had to get used to it. And it was really nice, because like yeah, everything was slowed down, the pace was slower, you just chat and talk.
I like that. And you get like less full afterwards too. Like, it's like, I don't know. it's
And
really
probably in
nice.
the end consume less.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you ever experienced culture shock here? Either going to Germany or coming back from Germany?
Oh yeah, I mean that's definitely a part of it. Yeah, I can remember in particular coming back after a year at 18, coming back to visit my family, and I remember stay with my family, my American family, and being dumbfounded at how big the cars were, and how wide the streets were, and how much lawn space people had in
Yeah.
front of their houses. I mean, not that I didn't know these things. Obviously, I grew up in the United States in the same neighborhood more or less my whole life. But it's when you're taken out of that element for whatever element is home for so long. It was roughly a year, 11 months or something, and then to come back into it, it's amazing how your perspective changes. It's not unlike if you walked into your grade school that you haven't been into in 5 or 10 years, and then you walk around there and everything seems so small. Now there is an actual physical dimension, but still you remember it being one way, and then you're shocked when you see it. So yeah, definitely. Yeah.
That's how it was like after the 3 weeks even. Like after I came back, I don't know, I thought like I wanted to bike everywhere after that because that's all I did in Germany was like bike everywhere. And I really like that.
Yeah.
But now like I have my license, so it's like, and it's cold, so it's like,
Right.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the summer.
It's warming up though. Winter's over.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
actually
don't say
getting
that.
closer.
Just like,
Knock on wood. Yeah.
I really prefer biking over driving.
Oh, yeah,
Like
totally.
if it's warm enough, like definitely. Like it's just so much nicer. Like it feels so much better.
And it wakes you up somehow, and it, yeah, I know. I love it too.
My hope is that like after AP exams and like for most of the summer, I can just like wake up, hopefully like I don't know, like 5:30, which seems insane. But then and just like go for a bike ride every day. Cause like I really like biking. I don't know. I like working out too, but I got really tired of leg day, so I decided to like just like buy a road bike and just bike instead. And it was fantastic. Like all last summer, I'd bike like 12 miles a day, and it wasn't long. It'd take like maybe 45 minutes, and it was a nice ride.
You guys got a lot of nice trails up on the North Shore here.
Yeah, we do.
oh,
Oak Leaf, and then on the lake, and all kinds of stuff. It's kind of cool.
I remember Zev and I once we decided that we were gonna bike to Cedarburg, which like it was just like I don't know, it's like 20 miles or something. But he said, oh yeah, well I'd bike to Port Washington one time, so
Really?
and so we set out, and like I'm on a mountain bike because I didn't even have a road bike at that point in time, so I'm just working hard because like I've got my fat tires, and so I'm like just chugging along trying to catch up to him. We picked the worst day. It was like 114 degrees. the day we picked. So we made it up Port Washington Road, and then I guess we were trying to find like the Glacier Trail or something that like we went over left, like kind of to the north side of Fletch Park, and then we quit. So then we just went back and went to like the Altera that was right there at like Port Washington and Green Tree. And we just like had iced coffee there and said that we'd accomplished something.
Yeah, all that stuff can matter.
I like biking to
Wind.
Summerfest.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. if,
Parking's a
like,
lot easier.
Yeah.
Or did you leave late? Like from Summerfest?
No, I like bike there to get the cheaper admission or the free admission
Yeah.
during the free days.
Oh,
And then I bike back and then go there.
Was that a promotion? Like if you biked, you get in free? Or?
No, but they had like you could bring food and then
Yeah.
you get in free.
Oh,
and
right,
then you get
right, yeah.
and then you just have to come back before like 7 or something. But I'm really excited for this year.
Yeah.
Really good.
This summer, I know, when did you leave for your year in Germany, your gap year? Was it right after school got out? Or did you have summer?
No, it was just like August, sometime in August.
I mean, beyond like work and like, I mean, getting stuff ready for college, I feel like I'm just gonna do like a no obligation summer. Just because like, you can just kind of like live and like exist, but like, there's no like full-time job, and there's no like schoolwork, there's no like doing summer reading and anything, you know, it's just like,
no AP reading.
yeah,
I'm like really excited to get my dorm stuff too. Like,
yeah.
that's all I want for my birthday. And I just want like just dorm stuff. Like I really want a robe. I really want those like cool like bathroom things. I like have everything. I'm so excited.
So I'm kind of a tea snob. Like I've become one. I really like tea. But so then like at Black Friday I went over to Teavana. I got myself like a teapot and like nice tea and everything. I became friends with the people there, so they gave me like some free stuff too. And so now like I'm like,
Is there one here in the mall?
Yeah.
Or- okay.
so like I only drink loose tea now, and I drink it like daily, and I'm way too snobby about it. But the one thing I want to get for myself, which is probably way too snobby and pretentious, is there's this Breville, which is kind of like KitchenAid or anything. They like make kitchen stuff. Makes this electric water heater. It's like I want electric water heater because I don't want to have to like boil water, but I make my tea in college.
Yeah.
They have one that you can set the temperatures, like 165 degrees for herbal tea, 175 for white, 185 for green, 195 for it was like 195 for like spiced tea, and then like boiling for black tea. But it's like $100, so
Oh, wow.
it seems like it's a little too much.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Did you live in the dorms here when you were in college?
Oh yeah, sure.
You think it was a good experience to sort of learn how to like live with people?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, all the things you guys are going to go through in the next, whatever, 5 months, 5 years, 15 years of your lives, you're going to learn a ton. So just keep an open mind and, treat others how you want to be treated yourself, and, just roll with it. It's all cool,
I feel like this podcast is like Papa Heo gives us advice, but it's great.
I don't know, it's
No,
something
it's
came to
good.
my mind when you asked.
It makes sense.
And I live in the dorms, yeah.
I mean, you've done it. We haven't.
Yeah, it's all pretty. I mean, I don't know if I'd want to go back and do it again, like at this point in my life. But yeah, I've, in hindsight, I only have positive memories. So that's never a bad thing.
Did you have the same roommate every year? Or-
No, I was only in the dorms. Let's see. I want to say a year and a half or something.
Okay.
So 3 semesters, which was normal. I was at
Yeah.
University of Iowa, so that. And for the first year we did. We're still in touch. We're still friends. He lives in Thailand.
It's awesome.
My college roommate, and at least the first one, and dorm roommate. And then yeah, it's just it's all good. I haven't seen him in years, but long time. But maybe we've been in touch. We send each other birthday greetings and things like that.
Nice.
And
Didn't your mom go to college with him?
No, that's Lee's mom.
Oh, did she?
we didn't know each other, but yeah, Lee's mom and I we graduated about the same time, or we were there like parallel lives kind of thing.
That's funny.
It's a big school. So.
Yeah, it
You
is.
guys probably like passed each other eventually.
Oh yeah,
at
well
some
she was a
point.
French, apparently, or a lot of French, and then I was German, and I knew a lot of French majors, so I'm sure our paths crossed once or
Yeah.
twice, but
That's crazy.
It's cool. It's way easier to stay in connection now with everything. Like,
absolutely, yeah.
or even like long distance relationships. Like my girlfriend goes is going to college, but like it's not hard to keep a relationship going. Like there's Skype and like you can still write each other letters if you want to be cute and you know. It's I don't know. It seems like it'd be a lot more difficult in the past, but like now long distance, you're never too far away with the internet.
I talked to my grandpa for my German biography actually, and I asked him about like because he met my grandma in high school in the band. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. But he went to UW Stout 2 years behind her when she went to Whitewater because he worked for a year after high school, and that was like so like what was long distance like during college? He was like. We wrote a lot of letters, and he was like so indifferent about it. Like I don't know, it's kind of odd. Like he just said that they wrote a lot of letters. I don't know. I feel like it's very different now.
Yeah.
I mean, just because maybe it's like our American society where we're like kind of like always like, what are you doing right now? That like
Yeah.
we're more concerned with
The
like
Twitter
that.
thing.
Yeah, but we're also way more like connected. So I guess it's like a positive and a negative.
It's true.
Yeah.
My aunt lived in Germany and South Africa and like everywhere and things
That's
and
awesome.
whatnot. And like she was over there like before obviously like all internet connection. And like she like barely talked to her parents and stuff. And like I talked to them about it like because they're kind of like hovering and stuff. So like how did you deal with that? And they were just like we don't know how we dealt with it, but like we like wrote letters and you still like felt like you knew what was going on in their life, but like not too much like we know now. Like I feel like we
Yeah.
know everything that's happening like with everyone's lives, and we don't really have that much personal space in a way.
Yeah.
Like social media is like all about like what you're doing in the present moment and like Snapchat stories.
Yeah.
Those are like it's like look who I'm hanging out with.
Yeah, look
Like,
at me.
Yeah. So it's-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good and bad. I mean, you guys know I love technology, but at the same
Yeah.
time, there's something to be said for, you know, just leaving the phone at home and, you know, just living in the moment and not having to check your device every, you know, 10 minutes or whatever people do. So, yeah.
Was it you that was talking about the UNICEF app, where like the fundraising? So you like begin this thing on UNICEF, and however long you're off your phone or something, like a certain organization will like donate money to
Heard about
Yeah,
this.
I saw
water
that.
filters.
I don't think I was
or
talking to you
something.
about it, but yeah, I saw that too. It was really cool.
Yeah, I want to do it so badly.
It's like do you guys ever play Free Rice when you were a kid?
Yeah.
It was the best. So it was a website. It's called like freerice.com, and it was just like vocab. So like you'd do like how like I always did it in English, but I'm sure you could probably do it for German too.
You can.
It exists
And,
in German, yeah.
It'd be good practice for the AP. But for every question you got right, it was like 10 grains of rice that they would donate to impoverished nation. So then like you'd play for like an hour and you'd get up to like 5,000 grains of rice. And like as the questions got harder, the amount of rice you won got bigger. So it was cool.
I'm like where does that money come from to do it?
Yeah, right, I always wondered that too. How do you know if it really is ever delivered? Like,
Yeah. I
Yeah,
know.
it's true. I think they had like advertisements on the website. I think you could donate to them too. It was cool.
Yeah, Miss Copeland had us do this thing where it was like this website, and it was like all you had to do was like click on something, and it was like
Yeah, it was
donate your dollar for the day to like this organization or something like that. But I don't know, like I don't know what the website was called, but I don't know where that money comes from.
Maybe it's like advertisements on the
Yeah.
page that like pay for it. I don't know. But
I
yeah,
think-
that's kind of sketchy in a way.
Like not countries, companies do that too. Where like I don't know, Pepsi will say like tweet with the hashtag Pepsi or something within the next hour, and we'll donate like 5 cents to I don't know Canadian children with malaria, but something. But so then like
is that a problem in Canada?
it's a huge problem in Canada. They're still living in the dark
Someone
ages
needs to
up
do
there.
something about it.
The doctor just comes and says sorry to them.
Yeah.
But no, but like I guess because like the company gets like all the publicity because everyone's tweeting with like the hashtag Pepsi. So then like people see it and I guess it's trending and stuff. I'm not on Twitter, but people tell me about it.
Here, are you on Twitter?
Yeah.
Really? Do you tweet?
Yeah.
You're the most like social medially advanced of all 4 of us, which is funny.
That's
I'm
true.
I actually
Not that
had
often,
Twitter.
maybe once a week
Yeah.
or less, but, you know, it's something to do.
I had a Twitter in like 8th grade, and then I just like, I don't know, like when it got like really popular, I was like, oh, I don't think this is like what I want to be a part of.
Yeah.
Because it just became like a lot of what I was seeing like with amongst high schoolers was like a lot of like direct feelings, and I was like, oh, I don't like this.
Yeah, like Twitter fights. I think
Yeah,
that's
Twitter
so
fights.
Yeah.
Like, I
Well, that's-
couldn't be a part of that. I
Yeah, like,
The dark side of social media, yeah.
Yeah.
I like Facebook, like that's it. Because like, I don't know, I feel like, I mean, there has to be some social media in my life, but like, I don't know, I don't check Facebook often. I really, all I post about anymore is the Tower Times podcast. You were the Tower Times podcast. And, but I don't know, like, I never did Twitter, Instagram, or Vine, or anything. I got Snapchat because my girlfriend put it on my phone, but that's fun. But, you know, it's interesting how, like, the whole culture of just, like, me all the time, like, you know, like, selfie sticks? Like, you guys heard about those?
yeah, I really
And
do.
it's apparently a big thing now. It's like a stick, and it's got a Bluetooth like button for you to take a picture. So then like you hold it out and you can get farther. Sorry, my lungs are dying slowly as this podcast progresses. But you can like take a picture of yourself from farther away, so you can get a better angle.
Of a group.
Yeah, it's, oh god, it's
And
so
like
stupid.
post it online or something? Or
It's just
Snapchat it?
yeah, it's just like
Just
to be
take a
able to
picture.
take pictures of yourself.
Oh.
That's fun.
It's crazy.
Just in case you're not a photographer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to talk to someone else because that's scary to talk
You just want to like
people.
share all the personal details about your life on social media, but not talk to someone in person.
Yeah.
I feel like social media is also like super artificial.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely,
It's like-
yeah.
I've heard stories about like people like going to a party or something like that and then just taking pictures and leaving and
Yeah.
like posting those on like social media and being like, look who I was with, but like they're not my friends. Like in reality,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
yeah.
it's not real. Like it's just for like public image.
Yeah.
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 I like, and there's so much communication. Like, I like texting. I don't know. I like it because you can carry on like an extended conversation, but still like live your life. And like phone calls are good too. But like, I kind of am done with email. Like, there's so many forms of communication. I just want to eliminate one from my life, and I want to eliminate email. Like, you have to check your emails. Like, you get all these emails from like people you don't want. Like, I'll get a spam text maybe like once every 2 months that has like 14 emoticons in its name and it's telling me to buy $2 Nikes. And I'm like, I mean, sorry, Jess Girl 249 smiley broccoli. Like,
Jess Girl.
yeah, I don't want your Nikes. And then I just delete it. But like, there's so many emails. Like, I have 3 email accounts. I've got, well, 4 now. I've got the Humor Tower Times podcast email account. I've got my like Andrew.Falone at WFBschools.com one, which you have to use for school, for like Google Classroom. I've got one that I just use to sign up for stuff online because I don't want to spam. Then I've got one I actually use. And like, I don't want that. Like, I don't want any of them.
Yeah,
I-
the spam is
Get used to it.
yeah, the spam is just like kind of ridiculous. I always have like way too much spam. Like, who sends those? Like, what computer is even like set to like send us?
I have some emails, accounts, well, 2 that I can think of that are over 10 years old. One's probably 20 years old, and the amount of spam I get on there is ridiculous. I don't close it down because I still use it occasionally, and some people still have it, but I've moved on. I don't get on there very much, but I have tens of thousands of unread messages because it's 98% spam. You know, so okay.
I tried to open Netscape Navigator the other day. So I saw like it was still installed on the computer, but the computer just died. Like Netscape Navigator opened and like tried to like open and just broke down. But you ever think about like how when you were kids like what websites they used to look like? Just like how bad the internet used to be.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
different.
Like the
I just
entire
love
art of
web
web
games.
design. Yeah, webkins were like RuneScape. That was my jam. I know some people did like Club Penguin back in the day.
Yeah, but like, you had to pay for that eventually, and I was like,
Yeah.
The internet was like so different. It was
Yeah.
just like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
So much cool stuff can come out of the internet. There's a picture that's posted on 4chan, which is like a forum site of a very large, like 350-pound guy dancing, and then it said that like, and it had another picture of him like looking, downtrodden, and there's pictures that said that like he stopped dancing when he heard, or like he was trying to dance, he stopped when he heard us laughing or something, and so then it was like so mean. So many people, there's so much backlash against like body shaming. So then there's a huge Twitter campaign to like find him, and then there's like 1,500 women in LA, like who like I guess that's where the picture was purportedly taken, who organized a dance party. Like 1,500 women that have signed up to like, yes, we'll come to this party, and him. So like then they went through Twitter and they finally found him, cause like they found a picture of him with like some mascot of a sports team. They found him, and then he responded. He's like, sorry, I'm in like Thailand right now, but I'll stop by LA on the way back. And it's like
so
that's.
they're posting a party, right, or something? That's what I heard. They're like hosting. A
Yeah,
party
they're
for
gonna
us.
host like a dance party, and just like, I don't know, there's cool stuff that can happen with the internet. There's also stupid stuff like the potato salad, like the Kickstarter. So Kickstarter, like you're all familiar with Kickstarter.
Oh, I did.
So like you like donate to different campaigns. There's one where a guy put up like, I want to make potato salad. That was it, and that was his only goal. But then like he had all the different incentives, because if you give certain amounts, then like if you gave $25, you get one thing. Like so then I think it was like if you donated $5, you get a piece of the potato salad. If you donated like $20, you get a piece of the potato salad and a photo of me eating it. Like if you donate like more than $150, you get I'll rent out a convention center and we'll like have a potato salad party. But he got $60,000 to make potato salad, and like he followed through with all like the different incentives and stuff that he had.
Wow.
But it's so stupid. Like it's like there's the random stuff on eBay that'll sell for so much money. Like I think like Jerry Garcia's finger is going to be on eBay now.
What?
Yeah, he like, so I guess this finger like was knocked off a while ago, and then like he's like surgically was put back on, but then he was playing poker, I guess, in like Vegas, and it fell off, and he just like left it, 'cause he was like, yeah, they never did a good job sewing it on, I don't want it anymore. And so then like someone took his finger and like now it's in a bottle and they're selling it. It's,
Wow.
stupid.
That sounds like a Law and Order of like someone
Right.
selling some finger on the internet. It just doesn't sound right at all.
Yeah, you wonder like what are they going to do with them? I mean, is it fundraising for a cause, or is it just
Just like-
to make money,
Yeah.
or is it who knows? Well, the human condition.
There's some great stuff on the internet though. Like there's a site, it's called like glitterbomb.com, where you can pay $10 and they'll send an envelope full of glitter to any address you want. Just so like someone opens it up and glitters like the hoopies of the arts and crafts world. Once it gets somewhere, it never leaves. So they just open it up and glitter everywhere. But it seems like, I don't know.
Wait, like it pops glitter?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a good April Fool's joke.
Yeah.
That is.
Cards Against Humanity, like you
Yeah.
could buy, like it said, like you could buy a box of and like people thought it was like just cards basically, like that were like cards for the game, but it was literally like a box of There was like dry poop in the thing that you got.
So
Like,
human excrement, basically.
Yes, yeah, it was in the box. It wasn't
Yeah.
any cards or anything, but yeah,
Wow.
I don't know. It was weird.
That's funny. Oh man. What's the coolest thing I've ever bought on the internet? When I was a kid, so I was a little nerdling, right? I'll be honest about it. Me and a friend. Word. Yeah, no. So I'm wearing a like Galaxy Cat sweatshirt. It was like 6th grade, and the new Star Trek movie was coming out. So me and a friend decided we wanted to dress up. So I guess like Klingons with aliens in Star Trek. So off Amazon, I got this like giant curved 2-foot-long blade that like I guess like the Klingons use in Star Trek. And it said up on the side like made in Pakistan, so I'm pretty sure like they're using it to like assault people in Pakistan. But it is, I don't know, just crazy. Like I could order it for like $20 and then it would come.
I don't think I've ever ordered anything too crazy. I just ordered
No.
t-shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of is, well, let's just say many life experiences ago, I was really into the Bears, Chicago Bears, and I still am. But at that particular moment, I was more into them than like I am normally. I think that might have been their Super Bowl year or whatever, 10 years ago.
Still have the tattoo?
No, never got a tattoo. Anyway, so let's see well, I have a jersey, I have a hat, whatever, different paraphernalia you can wear, a fleece, whatever. Okay, but I didn't have, when you go to these games, just like at Packer games, people are all decked out in all kinds of things. So I thought, I went to a game that year, and I remember seeing all these people wearing they always show them on television, but besides having face paint and all this kind of stuff, you have people with like bear heads on their stuffed bear heads on theirs, worn as hats and
Real bears.
yeah, like from real bears and whatever, black bears and grizzly bears and stuff. And then people have all kinds of necklaces and stuff. And I thought that'd be cool to have I just wanted to get a necklace with a bear claw on it. And
Get you bear bling.
and you can buy plastic bear claws for 50 cents a piece or something like that on eBay or $1. I don't even remember. And I was like, well, that's lame. It's plastic, right? I didn't want plastic. I wanted real. So you start looking, and of course, I didn't even think about the whole ethics behind it, but whatever. I just started like clicking around. So, and real bear claws are like ridiculously expensive. Like apparently they're used in Native American rituals and all kinds of things. So I'm like sort of between a rock and a hard place. Well, then scrolling through all these things, I found I want to say a fossilized cave bear claw from somewhere in Yugoslavia. Former Yugoslavia, and yeah, and it's a little box, and it's documented, and it's got all this stuff, and a description and everything, and it was like for $3 or $4. It wasn't much, including shipping. So I'm like, I'm gonna get that. I got it, and it's, well, even though it's a cave bear, prehistoric thingy, it's not. It couldn't make a necklace out of it. But nevertheless, I kept the little bear claw, and occasionally I bring it out at parties and things. So. It is what it is. I have to look for it. I wonder where it is. Probably in my sock drawer.
Do you guys have any good putty tricks? Like, I don't know. I'm always impressed by people who can do just like David Letterman calls it like stupid human tricks. Like people who could draw like the map of like all 50 states, like right, or stuff like that. Like I really don't have anything that's cool like that.
I don't think so.
Not really, no.
Do you guys have any hidden talents though? Like I was always just inexplicably good at roller skating. Not rollerblading, roller skating. You had to have all four. Like when I was a little kid, when you'd go to like the Skateland birthday parties, or like when you'd have the like roller skating unit in grade school, I was always just good at like roller skating.
Just by kids, like, hey, look at me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You gotta went
jealous.
backwards.
Oh no,
Yeah.
were you?
No, that guy.
No, I could never go backwards.
Oh.
I could like jump into them though. I felt cool about that. Talk about skating by kids. Just remember this story. So I was with my dad at like the back of Richards because we lived pretty close today. I was biking around when I was a little kid, and this guy's on rollerblades, and he's probably like a teenager, probably what age we are now. I was like maybe 10 or 11, and so I'm biking, and like he goes and he wipes out on the tennis court, he just falls. I bike right by him and I just go, fail! And he just wiped out on the ground, and I just keep biking. My dad had a good laugh at that. Just, I don't know. When I was a kid, I just thought I was hilarious.
You were like a young kid.
Yeah, I just whizzed by him.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Was the person okay?
I tried to learn to unicycle last summer.
My brother does a unicycle.
That's
I
really-
Calico, dude.
Yeah.
That's definitely
Because I just thought it'd be really fun to be like
suitable.
biking down Santa Monica on a unicycle.
Hey guys.
Say,
I saw this one guy on Silver Spring with it was like a bike, but then he built up, so it was like a really tall bike.
yeah, I've seen that around.
It was weird. I don't know.
Like, what do you mean? It was like.
It was
It
like,
was like two bikes on top
Yeah.
of each other almost.
and he had like pedal extenders.
Yeah, he
yeah.
had pedal extenders.
Oh yeah, I think I have seen this.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, what are you doing? I was with Jackie actually, and she's like, oh, look at that. She was really
Is that your
amazed.
German?
Yeah, my German.
I never could get a unicycle. Like, I'd be able to bike for unicycle for a certain amount of time in like a relatively straight line. But it was always about just keeping it going. Because it was always just how many pedals and how fast could I go before I fall.
Yeah.
Although now, if you go to the back of Richards anyway, they've got this huge sign. It's like, no golfing, no roller skating, no rollerblading, no biking, no pogo sticking. It's like they've eliminated everything that could
What?
possibly be fun.
No
Yeah.
laughing.
It's crazy.
I remember when we were in 4th grade, they were like, no picking up the snow. Because they
Oh,
really
yeah.
didn't want snowball fights.
Yeah.
But we were brutal.
Oh,
In-
yeah.
In elementary school, I remember there were literally beat downs of kids. Because there were turf wars between
Yeah.
snow forts.
We talked about that on one of the
Really
earlier
intense.
podcasts.
Yeah.
Were they grades?
It was,
3rd grade against 4th grade?
Yeah,
And it was also
Something
But always, they're named after animals.
Yeah.
So there'd be how the snowplows, I don't know. If you've watched all the podcasts, you're a super fan, you hear it again, but most people haven't. They plow it, because there's a blacktop area, so there'd be 3 big mounds of snow. So then those would be 3 forts. So it'd be tigers, and then dragons, and
I
the
was like
bears.
chameleons.
Me too. So
Yeah.
the chameleons, I think Isaiah Johnson was our leader.
Yeah.
But we'd go around and we didn't have a snow fort. Our entire idea was just to go around and destroy other snow forts. So it was just battle. And you're in your big puffy coat and big boots and
Yeah.
stuff, so you felt invincible. You got your snow pants on.
Yeah. We wrecked forts.
I feel bad about that because I remember once everyone went and I guess the tigers had made like a tunnel, like under the snow, and then came up. It was like a full tunnel and just broke it.
That's impressive.
Lord of the Flies,
Right?
meets, Wisconsin.
It was,
It was brutal.
I was stupidly reckless when I was a kid. I remember once going to a golf course to go sledding down like a big hill. Then like walking off into the woods and finding a frozen waterfall. So I'm like, oh nice. So the waterfall, it would go like, it went down, then cut over, like 90 degrees, then cut 90 degrees again, down. So I'm like, I can just go and get a little angle, like whoop, go down. So it looked like it was like frozen waterfall, so it was like all icy and like, then it went to like reeds at the bottom. So like, I could like go softly into the reeds and be good. So I go down the first time, I'm on my sled, and I go whoosh, 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 I like make the turn perfectly, go all the way down, the end of the reeds, I'm like, that's awesome! It's like the fastest I've ever gone on a sled. So then I do it again. I go down, I go whoosh, I go to the side, I go whoosh. I don't whoosh enough the second time for the second turn. I just clothesline myself against the tree, just like sideways, whap! And it's like knocks the wind out of me. I'm lying there, just like thinking I'm gonna die, just like fighting for breath, looking at the sky. And I'm in the middle of the woods and like I've gone away from my
Where was
parents.
this, the Oakley Trail?
It was on a golf course somewhere. It was up by Fiddleheads, up in like Mequon or Cedarburg. It was up somewhere near there.
Oh, okay.
But my friend Trevor was with me. I just remember he was at the top of the hill, just laughing hysterically, so I just smacked my entire body against a tree.
So scary.
Sledding's like really dangerous.
It
Like,
really
Yeah.
is, yeah.
like it's like a rite of passage for all children, but it's really dangerous.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Yeah, Alec got hit once. My dad was going down, and then my dad just like hit Alec, and we just saw him like fly up, and like fall down. It was good. He got so hurt when he was a kid, but
Do you guys remember back behind the Jewish day school up at the top of the Berkeley Hill? Like before, so now they've redone it. So now like there's a road that goes back to Water Tower behind like the JCC. But before that, there was there's like the Jewish day school that's like not part of the JCC, but like right there. There was this like really just sheer drop off hill, but like that's where everyone would go because it was kind of like a bowl and it just was really steep. So that was the best sledding hill when I was a kid. And I remember like you go on the saucers, but then if you went to the very steepest part, there was a bump in the middle. So you go down and then you hit a bump and you just like blast your hip bones on the saucer, but then you got air, so it was all worth it. You know, pain for gain.
Floaty's like really steep too.
Yeah.
At the bottom is like bushes, so you like
That's
you get like
scary.
really good speed and then just fly into a bush and just.
There's some kids who broke their legs on it once one year.
Really?
Like yeah, now they put up like a fence.
Oh,
Although when I was a kid, I biked down it once in the summer.
Really?
That was intense. Yeah.
did you fall? dude?
No, I made it. I always
Good
liked
job.
biking. I don't know, mountain biking is fun.
Yeah.
So scary.
Yeah. So this was a really fun podcast. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank Miss Lentz for getting the furniture, and I want to thank Herr Madler for being on, as well as Miss Cook, the buildings and ground staff, Mr. Gustafson, and Mr. Webfer. Thank you all so much. We record these a week in advance, and they come out every Friday night. Tune in for the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Toodles.
Cheers.
Awesome.
Tschüss, auf Wiedersehen.